Are you in deportation proceedings and you want to know if it's possible to delay your deportation? I'm Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, your friendly immigration lawyer in Texas, and I'm here to answer all of your immigration questions. When someone finds themselves in deportation proceedings, that means they've been issued a notice to appear in immigration court and they have to go before an immigration judge. At the first hearing, you're going to be responding to the notice to appear, which contains all of the allegations against you. It's going to say your name, your country of origin, the date that you entered the country, etc. And there's typically two types of people in deportation proceedings. There's people who have been in the United States for a while, and either they had legal status or they didn't, but something happened to land them in immigration court. Maybe they got arrested, or maybe they just got stopped by immigration, or maybe they just got picked up in a raid. But those are people who are going to be seeking some type of relief like cancellation of removal. Maybe you can show you've been in the U.S. for 10 years and you have good moral character and you have U.S. citizen or permanent resident family members who are going to suffer if you get deported. So that's group one, people who are already in the U.S. and they got put into the system. The second group are people who come to the border and they are seeking asylum and they get put into the asylum system. We see that less and less often these days with a lot of the border closures that have been happening since the pandemic, but we still do see quite a bit of people put into the immigration court system after maybe failing an asylum interview or being processed in at the border. Those types of people are typically only going to be seeking asylum, but they have to go through the same exercise of going to court and telling a judge what you're going to be doing. Now, the timing of everything depends really a lot on the judge that you have and the court that you have and what the schedule of that judge is. What I can say is that a lot of the courts and a lot of the judges are really backlogged. I have cases that have been pending for over a decade in immigration court. But it really is not something that you can control. There are some things you can do to give yourself a little bit more time. At your first hearing, you're always allowed to ask the judge for more time to find a lawyer. If you have a lawyer, the lawyer can ask for more time to prepare the case. And if you have another form of relief pending, that can get a little complicated, but let's say you're in immigration court, but you're applying for a green card, or you're applying for a VAWA or a U visa, or you have some relief that you file for with the immigration agency. Sometime the judge will give you time in the removal case to allow for that case to move through the system. Sometimes they won't. So you have to be prepared to go forward with your application for relief or defense of deportation. And the best thing to do, rather than trying to stall it, is to have a good strategy. To meet with a lawyer who's really experienced in deportation defense cases. Not all immigration lawyers do that type of work. And they meet with you and they say, okay, here's this. We can do cancellation of removal. We can try a U visa. We can try, marrying your U.S. citizen spouse and doing consular processing with the waiver. I'm just throwing out a bunch of stuff that your lawyer might say to you, and they might say, we've got a plan A, plan B, plan C. If your lawyer's saying that to you, that's an indication that they're a good strategist. Not everybody has 3 plans available to them, but you want to hear your lawyer thinking like, okay, if this doesn't go well, this is what we're going to do. If this doesn't go well, this is what we're going to do. And you want to have a sense of what's happening. You want to be educated. You want your lawyer to take the time to explain all this to you and make sure you understand the evidence that's needed for your type of case so that you can work with your lawyer and help them prepare your testimony, find your witnesses, and bring all the documents that will help your case be more winnable. It really is a team sport. When you're working with a lawyer on a deportation defense case, you got to work with them so that they can do their best work for you. So hopefully those are some helpful tips. Best of luck.